Hey everybody, this is Francesca Maxime again with another edition of WiseGirl. A little quick update to something that I was thinking of today regarding business. We talk about disruption a lot, and I think that the big merger that we just saw with at&t and Time Warner is the reconsolidation or an attempt at that of something that was deregulated and broken up. And in many ways, all the big businesses that have emerged today that we use, like just like breathing, right? Airbnb, Uber, things that we sort of now just say, well, they were always part of our vocabulary in a way, weren't always there. They disrupted the hotel industry. They disrupted the taxi transportation industry, for example. So disruption is really a huge word and innovative set of principles that people have used and employed in business ways to really create new opportunities for all kinds of things. And a lot of it leads to greater well-being for people. Well, here's what I'm positing. Think about disruption in terms of your own mind. That thing here, your whole essence, right? What would that mean? Disrupting how you do things, how you think. Sort of looking at things with fresh eyes and saying, hey, maybe the way I'm doing things isn't really the best way. Maybe there's another way. Maybe I don't quite know what that way is yet, but maybe I need to step out of my habits and start employing some new techniques that might work. For example, those techniques might be meditation. It might be increased mindfulness. It might be focusing on your breath. It might be taking a long walk. It might be creating space for yourself in some way so that you can start to look at what it is that you do automatically and whether or not it's working for you, and how you can then disrupt that pattern of sort of going off on the same highway ramp every day, and maybe say, you know what, maybe there's actually a shorter route. Maybe they've built roads that are quicker. Maybe I don't even need to drive anymore, and I could take my bike or walk or carpool or take the train or subway. Maybe there's something new out there that I can create, or another pathway that I can get somewhere that will increase my well-being and happiness. For example, to continue with the car analogy, if we're driving to work on the highway every day and it's really making us crazy because we have to spend 2 hours getting from wherever we live to wherever we have to go to work. I know that's often the case for a lot of my friends in Massachusetts heading into Boston. One of the things that we might be able to do is say, okay, well, if I disrupted that pattern, how would I be able to better enhance my life? Now, there are certain parameters around whether or not you can work at home, how you want to carpool, if you do or not. Certainly not feasible for a lot of people to bicycle to work from, say, Worcester, if they, are working in Boston and living, about whatever it is, 30 miles away. But the idea behind it all is to kind of say, if I were to look at the patterns in my mind, even if it's just something like a belief, for example, someone the other day said to me, well, why are they getting married anyway? They've been together for 20 years, and why are they doing a destination wedding at this point? Isn't that kind of silly? Well, what if you disrupted your thinking about that and said, well, why do I care? Why does that mean something to me? Why do I even have any thoughts about that? Why can't I just wish them well? Why can't I just say, enjoy your life? But there are certain kinds of judgments or habits or ways of thinking that we often bring ourselves into the equation without even realizing it. And by doing what I was mentioning earlier in my other video today about creating space, by somehow creating space, giving ourselves an opportunity to breathe, recognizing that it takes usually about 90 seconds for an emotion to kind of jump up and fall down again, whether it's an impulse buy at the store, whether it's something nasty that you want to say to someone, whether it's something you want to stick in your mouth and eat that you probably in another state might not do. When you do that and you disrupt your actual thought pattern and your behavior, you begin to recognize where those thoughts are coming from in the very beginning, and you sort of question, well, is that even true? So I would just invite you to, again, create some space and then see it as perhaps a disruption, right? Because you want to be as successful as some of these businesses out there. You have Airbnb, you have Uber, what if your mind were that successful? What if you could train yourself to be looking at the world with such fresh eyes that you are able to incorporate something of yourself, but then create something entirely new and successful and even beyond your wildest dreams. That'd be kind of cool, right? So disruption, but maybe thought of in a new way. All right, that's it for today. Bye.